Pressed it. So here we go. Where's the bloody music? Well, there's a good start. There is a very good start. I don't know what happened there, but hello, everyone, and welcome to the Absolute Football Podcast, Absolutely Lower League, the show that is dedicated to the Championship, League One, League Two, the Vanarama National League, National League North, National League South, the Ishman Premier League, Merthyr Tydfil's League around the corner, my mate Sam's League over the road there, and the Russell Foster Premier League. If you're from the North East, you know exactly what I mean. I'm not Charlotte, obviously. Charlotte is ill at the moment. We wish her all the best, don't we, guys? She's got a bit of a poorly eye, but we have got Charlotte in spirit tonight with a so hello, everyone. And obviously, I can't do this on my own, so I've got three friends, the only friends I've got in the world at the moment. First one is Ben. Ben, how's it going, my buddy?
Yeah, all good, my man. Pretty busy week, but I'm just trying to deflect everything away from the football at the moment. So thankfully, when we come to National League South, I won't have much to say on the Stones. So, how are you doing?
Apart from the lack of music there, I'm doing fine. I wasn't that thing didn't kick in.
Why don't sing the jingle, Ant?
There we go, that'll do. My music credibility has just gone downhill, as well as every single credibility that I have in the entire world. Anyway, Jen, how are we, and how's everything in Morecambe these days?
Well, good, well, good. A win and a loss, so it's not the best, but it's also not the worst, so we're getting somewhere.
True. I mean, the Absolute Football Derby was won by Morecambe and Jen, hence why Rebecca's not here tonight. And last, but by no means least, we have Stocky Claire. Claire, how's it going? And I mean Stockport Claire, obviously, not that Stocky.
I am, to be fair, you know.
I'm not like Peter Kay. I'm not going to call you Lisa Riley or no like that, okay? This is a friendly podcast.
Right, other than crying like 4 minutes into the podcast, I'm really good. And obviously, good old Stocky. They're doing it, aren't they? They're doing bits. What's there to be unhappy with when it comes to football?
They're going up, you know. I'm saying it now. You're going up. Playoffs. Honestly, we'll be playing each other next season, guaranteed. And obviously, it wouldn't be a show without the people in the chat. We've got Spenny Chris, who's probably here before everyone else. I think he camped out last night after the women's game. Hello, Chris. We've got Graham, as usual, mate. Hello. We've got Husky. Husky, how's it going, my friend? Good. Hi. And we've got Luke. All right, everyone, skip the Tuesday and Wednesday games. Don't bother with Saturday games. We're not going to bother with Mondays either, Luke, because Sunderland obviously lost. A few get well soon, Shars. There's one from Johnny here. And Ben, Jen, Claire. Claire, can you change your name to something that rhymes with Ben and Jen?
No,
just for tonight?
Clan.
Like Helen or something like that.
Clan.
I know. Shall we talk some football?
Clarence, Ben? No, it still doesn't work, does it?
No. I think we should talk some football, guys.
Oh, do we have to?
Shout out first to Nicola, the beautiful Stockport fan who's watching.
And there we go. Hello, Nicola. Let's start. Oh, heck. Let's go back. I'll tell you what, while I've got this on, let's start for a change with National League South. Why not? Let's talk about a 0-0. Why not, mate? Ben, go for it.
There's not really much to discuss, to be honest, because it was a very poor game, awful conditions. Hemel, we sort of thought it might be a bit of a difficult one with Hemel's revival under the new management. It was just, I thought we dug in really well. Thought to get a point out of it. To be honest, it had 0-0 written all over it from the sort of get-go. We never really got started, didn't really create enough in the final third. Got to give the credit to Hemel because they worked really hard for that point, and maybe on another day they had a couple of chances they could have nicked it. But at the same time, it's a point we needed to stop. Well, I was going to say a little bit of a rut. We've had back-to-back defeats or whatever it is in the league. So we needed to get something on the road, and another clean sheet is helpful. But we're in a bit of a rut at the moment where we just aren't scoring goals. I think it's now we've scored 3 in our last 8 games, which we've sort of gone back to what it was at the start of the season where we just couldn't score for toffee. And it just shows that when you don't have, quality players that are recalled by their parent clubs and not even playing them, I'm not going to go down there. Still better players to league rivals, and you don't replace them, then I don't know. You can't be expected to be up there, and we are slipping down the table a little bit now. We've gone from potential title contenders now to be honest, to slip out the playoffs. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not optimistic at this moment in time. I just feel like our season's slowly piecing out. We haven't got the depth that we want, and it's a bit of a difficult one, really. I mean, we've got Bath on Saturday, and it's going to be an interesting one. We drew 3-3 with them earlier in the season. It's one of the better games I've watched this season, but again, both sides really struggle to score goals, so it's either going to be a 0-0 or a 4-4. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, a bit of a disappointment on Saturday, I think, for all of us.
You were the only draw in the league as well, probably letting the side down there.
Yeah, we do love a draw this year. That's been our problem, though. We've drawn far too many games and dropped too many points, in the games that we should be winning. I mean, Hemel, to be fair, I think if you'd offer us a point before the game, it probably wouldn't have been the worst result, given the revival they've had. But at the same time, I just didn't think we did enough on the day. The changes that we made didn't really seem to affect the game. It's just, I'm just a bit disappointed, and it is, it's gutting because after such a good run that we went on, 18 games without defeat, and then we came off the high of Torquay only 2 or 3 weeks ago, and now suddenly we're talking, about slipping outside the playoffs. I think there's a bit of a gap between, I think it's Chelmsford and Hampton. I think there's about 10, 11 points in it, but it's between us and Western at the moment. It could change very quickly, but I just can't see where the goals are going to come from at the moment because we're just not creating anything, and it's a really big concern. So the management have got to try and pull the magic out from somewhere in the next couple of weeks. Otherwise, we could well be settling for not even a playoff place at the moment. We'll be setting for another 3rd season in this division. So yeah, a bit of work to do in the next few weeks. I'm afraid.
So tight though, it literally is a case of drop points in a couple of games. And it's slipping. I mean, it's not as tight as it was when every bugger was on 55 points. But I think as well, it's not just about what's going on the pitch at the moment, is it? Because you've got a lot of lads who are friends with Dev, and that's still really raw. So you have to kind of, I don't know, you have to give them a bit of a pass at the minute, I think, whilst they're probably navigating through that, because that's just all really sad, isn't it? But it's not something that you can keep using ongoing. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Sort it out.
We sort of use that, I guess you could use that excuse for the AV game the other week, where I did think it did affect some of the players. I mean, one of our defenders, Reece Greenwich, was a really good friend of Dev, and he had a terrible game that night, and everything he seemed to do just seemed to go wrong. And it's because his mind was in the frame of it, but you've sort of got to try and put it behind you a little bit. And to be fair, and again, credit to Hemel, because they did give a minute's applause for him. And I think it was someone else at their club that unfortunately passed away. So obviously it sort of brings it back in a little bit. But yeah, I get your point, Claire. It's a difficult one. But at the end of the day, even before that, we just weren't scoring goals. Even at the Slough game, the couple of days before we found out he passed away, we still aren't creating chances. I don't think we can really use it as an excuse. We've got quality players in this team, and we're just not, hitting the heights that we were just about 2 or 3 months ago. When I think if you'd asked me after Boxing Day, we beat Tunbridge, I thought we'd go and win this league. But at the moment now, I'm really struggling to see how we get a playoff place if we can't seem to score goals. I mean, it's all right. We've still got one of the best defensive records in the league, if not the best, but we can't score. And you don't score goals, you're not going to go up. So that's what Dawkins seems to do.
Everyone's going to have a blip at some point. I mean, I know it's your second now, but you have to. And it's not really a proper blip, is it? It's been 4 games? But I think once it clicks for your guys, and then they seem to have this bit of an issue. Whereas when they maybe don't get a couple of results, they kind of seem to go through the shit mill a little bit. So I don't know. obviously your manager's the one to sort that out, but it's probably a question of why, when you lose a couple, does it go into a run? Like, it's a second.
It's the problem, yeah, because we, like as I've just said, we've sort of gone back to what it was at the start of the season, where we just didn't create chances. We've gone back to, almost it's a little bit too tactical at the moment. I think the players are struggling a little bit in terms of where they're supposed to be. Whereas a good couple of months ago, they were given the freedom to particularly in the forward line to express themselves, try something different. But at the moment, he just seems to be long ball after long ball towards Aaron Blair. No disrespect to Aaron Blair, he's one of the smallest players in our team, and he's not going to win everything in the air. I mean, he's one that if you play it around, the fullbacks for him, he's going to get there probably 8-9 times out of 10 because he's he's probably one of the quickest players in the league and one of the cleverest. But the problem, is if you just keep smashing the ball up to him, it's just going to go straight to the goalkeeper. And in a game like Saturday, where the conditions weren't great, it was very a bit windy, rain was coming down as well. You needed to try and adapt to it. It was a 3G pitch, so we had no excuse not to play on it. But I just don't know where it's going to come in. We just need a 1-0 from someone, just that whether it's off the backside, last minute, we don't care at the moment. We just need to find a way of winning again, because we saw with Slough. They were 2 months without a win. They beat us, and then look what happened to them on Saturday. They smashed Worthing. It came of absolutely nowhere. So it just shows confidence is a massive thing in football, and you need to follow up good performances with with results, and that's the thing. We just need to find that way again, and hopefully Saturday we can just get a little bit of run going. If we get 3 or 4 wins again, then everything's looking good. But it's just can we just start finding the target a little bit? And actually, someone just have a shot. We're not having shots at the moment, so it's a difficult one.
Yeah. How many?
Sorry, go on.
I was just going to ask. I know Maidstone are classed as full time. Like, how many other teams in that league are full time?
See, this is the thing, obviously, because a lot of people seem to get, sort of probably the wrong end of the stick with it, because we aren't actually full time. It's a free morning of the week, so it's hybrid. They do a couple of hours. They do in the morning, so no different to what we've been evening training, just doing it in the morning. So a lot of the players do have other roles outside of football. A lot of them are sort of like coaches or do a bit of part-time work somewhere. I mean, I think there's only probably 2 or 3 in the league that we could probably class as full-time. I think Eastbourne Borough, I'm pretty sure they do 4 mornings a week. I think Dorking are quite similar. I think they're maybe slightly similar to us. Torquay, they're part-time at the moment. I think Worthing, they're still part-time themselves. So there are a few that sort of, obviously Boreham Wood, I'm pretty sure they're full-time themselves. But it is a difficult one, because the teams that are up there, they are starting to pick up the points now. And I know you said about a blip, but I just can't see where because Dorking are on a roll at the moment. They're getting their best players back, and they are getting the results they need. They are finding a way of winning, and I think at the moment for me, it's going to be between them and Worthing for the title. I'd just love to see how Worthing bounce back after their 4-0 defeat of the weekend, because that just came out of absolutely nowhere. I don't think anyone expected that, but. Massive credit to Scott Davies as Slough. He's had it tough for the last couple of months, but he's absolutely smashed it the last week. So beating 2 promotion contenders, both at home, and 2 clean sheets as well, that's going to give them the world of confidence now, because they're going back to what they probably were at the start of the season, where they were hitting form, straight away.
Is that a standout from the league there, as in the Slough beating Worthing 4-0, or because there's some good results there, isn't there? Obviously, Enfield have got another win. They seem to be making a real good battle now. Good win over Eastbourne as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure for Enfield that was their 4th win in a row, and that's the thing. I think about a month ago I said they're good, as good as gone as anyone in the bottom 4. But they haven't changed manager. I don't really think they've changed their squad too much. They've just some of these. Got this sense of belief again, and I think going to Chesham is not easy. I mean, obviously we found that out about a month ago when they beat us 2-0, and they're looking for scalps. And Enfield, to be fair, they've given themselves a really good chance now, because they've just gone outside the bottom 4. The only thing is now, will they react well to their defeat on Tuesday, because they got absolutely hammered by Eastbourne Borough. So they've really got to sort of try and fight for not let that affect them, because their season will not be determined.
I
know. But to be fair, though, Eastbourne, their season will not be determined at Enfield by the results against those sort of teams. If they can beat those teams in and around them, which they have been, I think they beat Welling the other week as well, and that was a massive win for them, because if Welling won that, the gap opens up again. But now Welling have slipped into the bottom 4, and I really fear for Welling. I think they're in trouble. And to be honest, I've spoken to many people at their club, and they reckon they are an Ishbin Premier side at best, with the facilities, the the money situation they've got. So if Enfield managed to build us up, I think there would be a great escape personally, because they were as good as gone as anyone. They've conceded so many goals this year, but absolutely nowhere. They've just performed. So the management down there, they deserve so much credit. They do. They've really, stepped up and got us a tune out of that team now. So they're probably in the best place now to stay up out of those four that I was talking about a couple of months ago.
Yeah. Are there any other results there, Claire, that took your pickle?
Took your pickle.
Saying I am sorry.
Go again.
Hornchurch lost. That's a shame.
Yeah, no, I think I'm pretty sure I heard they put up a good fight. Did it all, Keith? Sorry.
No, go.
I was going to say, I think if they'd scored earlier in the second half, I think it was Neil Warnock who said to some of their, fans and everything after the game, said if they'd scored earlier in the second half, they would have got something out of it. I think they gave them a really good battle in the second half, Hornchurch and Torquay. That, to be fair to them, they've reacted from that defeat against us because they were as poor as anyone I've seen down at the Gallagher this season. But they've really given themselves a chance. And yeah, I think Luke's right, actually. St Albans picking up a cracking result against Bath at Twerton Park, because Bath have been fairly good in the last few weeks and months since their new manager Darren Way's come in. But yeah, I think St Albans, again, they're one of the sides now that have given themselves a chance, because if they win their game in hand, they're only a point away from safety. I think the two ones at the bottom, Aveley and Weymouth, I think they're done as anything, because I thought Aveley, they were winning for quite a while against Western. I thought if they managed to win that, I thought, who knows, their great escape. Having lost that now, I don't see them getting out of it. I think them and Weymouth are definitely on. So it's going to be a fight now between, I think, the likes of, from Salisbury down to St Albans to see who goes down, two of the bottom four.
I think that's a good win for Truro, because Tunbridge is quite a trek in it.
That is, yeah, that is quite a trek. Well, to be honest, I think for everyone for Truro in that league is a trek, to be honest. You can post now, Claire.
I'm trying really have to laugh quiet.
Another win for Dorking as well, though, at the top. Like, they look as if they're running away with it now, don't they?
Yeah, they are running away with it. Mark Wise, got a reaction. They're keeping clean sheets as well at the moment, which has always been a struggle for them, to be fair, in recent years, because they're quite happy to win games 5-4 and 4-3s and all that. But I think that's 3 wins in a row now, and they haven't conceded a goal either. So they've picked up form at the right time now. We're at the business end of the season, and this is what Mark White's good at. So he knows how to get promotion when he's side. He's done it so many times over the years, and it's no different at the moment. It's going to be between them, I think, and Worthing. I think Boreham Wood have dropped far too many points now, to be honest. They're going to need to put a hell of a run together now to give themselves that chance. But I think, to be fair, Worthing are as good a team as anyone I've watched this season. The way they play, I love the way they play, to be fair. It's such good advert for non-league football, and particularly National South. But them and Dorking are the two best footballing sides in the division, so I'm expecting them to really go for it.
Yeah, and let's have a quick look at the midweek ones as well. Obviously, you mentioned Enfield getting beat 5-0 off Eastbourne, Chesham 2-2 with Salisbury, and St Albans there getting beat off Hempstead. So let's see what that does to the league. As we mentioned before, Dorking are running away with a little bit now. 65 points from 34. Eastbourne second, Torquay third. Making up the playoffs is Worthing, Boreham Wood, Truro, and still there, Ben. Stones are still there.
For now.
Yeah. Ye of little faith. Ye of little faith. And then obviously making up the relegation zones as Welling United, St Albans, Aveley, and Weymouth. And as you said there, Enfield, they're out of it now. They're doing a Needham market. Can we say that? But on to them later. Right, where are we with these slides? I am going to have to go backwards, so I'm going to be quickly here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Let's talk about National League North, and where else to start but a tremendous victory for Needham Market. 4-0 over Oxford City, out of the relegation zone.
Woo!
On we go, Ben. That's all I'm saying. On we go. But Jen, apart from Needham Market, obviously, what took your attention on that league there?
I'd probably say Chester and Rushall Olympic. That seemed like a very good game, 4-0 win. Obviously, Rushall weren't anywhere near in that game, so I think that was a big, massive win for Chester. Obviously, my team is Southport, but They drew, unfortunately, but it wasn't a loss, so that's
Chester are smashing it at the minute, aren't they?
They really are.
They're doing stupidly well.
Is that right? They've seen with Chester as well that they've signed some big player or something to help them for the rest of the season. I'm sure I read it somewhere, but
Signed what?
They've signed like a really good footballer from the National League, but I can't remember who it is. But that's a class result for them. And
they'll come in a minute and tell us.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. If anyone can remember. But obviously, we mentioned Farsley Celtic last week. Another 3-0 defeat off Leamington. It's not looking good for them, is it? They've got a new manager in, David Stockdale, the ex-Wickham goalkeeper.
What's going on at that club is ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Who is completely and utterly self-indulgent, who actually doesn't realise how shit. He needs to freaking get a grip. That man is ripping that club apart, and I'm sick and tired of talking about clubs that are being ripped apart by the wrong people. They play their home games in fucking Buxton. Buxton. That's nowhere near Farsley.
It's like a 4-hour round trip, I think, for their supporters, I think.
And you know what? Once I was, obviously, I live just, Ben's the only one who really knows. I live just off a big main road, the A6. And once I was outside walking somewhere and the Farsley Celtic team bus drove past me, right? And I have never seen such an appalling bus. It was an R-Reg coach. R-Reg. It was falling apart. It was rusty. So not only are they playing all that way away from home, they're being taken to it in a coach that is no doubt at some point going to break down.
Can you imagine?
Sorry, I can't make the game. I'm stuck on the side of the hallway. Sorry.
Yeah. The game's been postponed because Farsley Celtic coach has broken down the way into the air, man.
I just don't see how it's going to change at that club. I think, unfortunately, they're certs for me to go down. Certs. And they're just slipping further and further, aren't they?
Yeah. Claire, while you're talking, you mentioned Chester. Is there anyone else, any other games in that one that stands out really?
Our mates game, innit? Radcliffe beating Buxton are literally just outside the playoffs. I think they only slipped outside the playoffs based on those fixtures. So I think they were down to 10 men. But that's a really good win for Radcliffe because obviously it was only a few weeks ago that they were second bottom or something.
Yeah.
They've really pushed and they're in some good form at the moment.
Yeah, the 18th, just looking at the league there. They've got themselves out of it, haven't they?
They've got 2 or 3 games in hand, everyone underneath them. So they've got a great chance of pulling away from that even further. Come on, the Jordan Hume army.
No, there. When we beat them in 1-8-1, I felt bad for them. got to a point where I shook some of their hands, wishing them all the best after the game, after an 8-1 victory.
Sorry, mate. Sorry to beat you. Sorry.
So when we won 8-1, Cavaliers put there, come on, Scunthorpe. And Ben, I was going to mention that, they seem to be back in the swing of things.
Yeah, they are. I mean, that's what we expect of them. Really, I've said before they need to get out of that division as soon as possible. To be honest, I think once maybe a bit like Yeovil. I think once they're back in the National League, they can establish themselves again. I think as Claire would probably know from Stockport's time, the National League, it's a difficult division to get out of. There's so many big teams, ex-football league teams that go into that division. That's the thing. That's why I've always said the National North has always been stronger than the National South in terms of the clubs, the stature of clubs.
Yeah.
And you got at the top just 2 big names in Chester and Scunthorpe, and that's not even taking to likes of your Darlingtons, your Kidderminster Harriers, Southports as well. These are clubs that are well established.
Kidderminster.
Kidderminster, yeah.
Kidderminster.
Yeah, Kidderminster.
Yeah.
Kidderminster.
Oh, it's a normal way of saying it.
Do you know what? It was just the way you said it. I was like, ooh, interesting.
To be honest, I don't know what I'm saying half the time. So pronunciations are no better than Charles.
Kiddy are obviously a club that have been up there as well. And I know they were right up there, top of the league not long ago. And they've been in a right bad spell of form. I think they've only won one in like 7 or 8.
But to be fair, though, they win their games in hands. They go right in the mix again. That's the thing. I mean, they're 2 games short of Chester and Scunthorpe. And if Scunthorpe even win the game in hand, I think they'll only be 4 points behind them, Mr. Harris, if they actually pull off the wins that they need. So yeah, it's still very tight at the top. To be fair, it's probably a lot tighter, in that for that top spot in National North than there probably was in the National South, because a few of the teams have slipped a little bit, in recent weeks with against teams lower than them. So that's the thing. This title race is probably just as exciting at the moment, because you're looking at it, the likes of Chorley and Brackley win their games in hand, they're right in the mix. So it's still anyone's game. I know there's still 12, 13 games still to lose, but that will soon go down very quickly. And all you need is just a few wins here and there just to keep in there. And that's the thing. No team from there is going to want to slip it away. And that particularly likes of Harriers and Scunthorpe as well. I mean, because I say Chester have hit the form now, at the right time. But if Scunthorpe, if they can get their stadium full like they used to back in the days of when they were playing in the Football League, then they've got every chance, because they are a big club. And let's be honest, they shouldn't be anywhere near this division with their history and the facilities they've got there. They, in comparison to some of the clubs, some of the lower clubs in that division, they should really be getting out of it. But that's the thing. I just generally fear for Scunthorpe, if they don't win the league this year, they won't win the playoffs. It could become the new Brackley, and even then Brackley are in there as well. So. Because obviously they failed in the playoffs last year, didn't they? So
it's tough. It took us 10 years or something daft to get out of the Conference North, and it's not an easy ride. I think a former friend of mine and I were going to an away game. I can't even remember where we were going. We stopped at a services and we bumped into some Scunthorpe fans as they were dropping down to that league, and we were like, how are you feeling? And he was like, do you know what? I'm really positive. Just going to see it as a new division, some new grounds to visit, and just smash it and come back up. And I said to him, do you know what though? It's not as easy as you think. And he's like, yeah, we'll be it's going to be fine. It's going to be a great season. And I was like, well, I hope you enjoy it, but just don't think it's going to be easy. Honestly, through experience, it's not going to be easy. And it was just dead cocky and like, oh yeah, be fine. Going to win the league.
Yeah, the novelty soon wears off as well, doesn't it? Like, I remember being like, when we went down to League One, I was like, wow, there's new grounds that I need to go to. All the grounds were absolute dumps, and literally it took us 4 years to get out. You know what I mean? It was like one or two. I mean, the first week I went to League One was the bloody Gillingham, final destination stand. You know what I mean?
When we've been down to the Conference North, every single ground in League One is like a fucking palace, mate.
I'll just sit here on my high horse. I do play Gillingham's away ground.
100%. Like the clubs like them, one season in that league was fun. Yeah, I dare say so, because like I said, you're going to compete in different grounds that you would be used to. But that's the thing. Suddenly the years start topping up 2, 3, 4, 5 years, not further than I say like Stockport have had to put up with. That's the thing. It's easy to get stuck in these divisions because they are local teams that go for it.
Yeah, 100%. And actually, we put a bit of money into getting out of that league in the end. And there's only one person still at the club now left from that era.
Oh, Benny.
When did I say that?
When you're on about Stockport, we'll be Ari.
Oh, Scunthorpe. Yeah, I was just saying what they were saying, though. I'm not saying it as...
Yeah.
I don't say all right. Bloody hell. All right.
Yeah, Alex put League One as amazing. I prefer Gillingham. We're under the 13 plus we facing on League. You wouldn't. Not that stand. It's horrible.
Yes, you bloody would. I went to Gillingham years ago. The upper tier of that scaffolding stand was in use, and I sat up there. I was hungover walking down them steps. There was a rash. But it's been condemned now. They're not allowed to use the upper tier for safety reasons.
I could have told me that bloody 5 years ago, couldn't I?
Yeah, I think it's in the last 4 years or something.
Do you know what? We won that game 4-1, and I daren't celebrate any of the goals because I thought I was going to die. Honestly, it was the scariest thing I've ever been through in my life. It was awful. It was minging. It was minging. But do the midweek games as well, because there was quite a few, and obviously I know Spenny will want to put his match report in. But another win for Radcliffe, as you said before, they're absolutely flying, aren't they? Like
as well. Like,
yeah, massive one for Marine. You know, they're in the bottom three. They're struggling. They're obviously struggling down there. I want to mention Oxford City, obviously, because they went down last year, and they seem to be, you know, hitting a really bad run of form. And is it possible they go down again? Do we think?
Potentially, yeah. They are one of those clubs. But the thing is, though, in comparison to a lot of the resources they've got, the area it's in, they can't attract the players. And then again, this is the harsh reality for Oxford. They've been in between the National South and the National North, because if they get put into the National North, there's going to be a lot of Southern players that go, well, I'm not travelling, you know, all the way to Darlington on a Tuesday night. And that's the thing where they can easily get round to, I don't know, Hornchurch or something. It's probably a little bit quicker for them. So it's a difficult one for them because, you know, it's a very small club. You know, you've got the main, you know, Oxford team in, you know, just a few miles up the road. And like, it's a difficult one for Oxford. I mean, the fact they even got into the National League for me is an absolute miracle, to be honest. Because I've been to the ground, and don't get me wrong, it's a lovely little ground. It is very good for, you know, probably the Isthmian Prem and maybe like say the National South, but National League. I mean, when you every time you go into like these big stadiums now, like my big reality of when we hit the National League was when we went to Tranmere, and I was at Whitehawk a few months ago, and now suddenly I'm in like this 20,000 seater stadium. It's like that's when you need to be able to hit. And now teams like Scunthorpe are going down and thinking, oh God, we're going to Oxford City, which is no disrespect to Oxford, but yeah, that's the thing. Like,
you're right about the ground and about the area, everything like that. And I think maybe part of Oxford's downfall might have been going up the season before, because like, I don't think that they were ready as a club to be in the conference last year. And it showed with, like, they just got absolutely pasted all the time. And you're breeding in that losing mentality into that club. Like, and I'm going to use this as another example. Carlisle going up to League One. Like, they were not ready to go up to League One whatsoever. They got absolutely dicked every week, back down to League Two. And then it's still happening. I feel like both clubs are in a bit of a negative mentality, and I don't think that losing mentality helps. And when you're in that position, you don't really get luck either. Like, when things are going your way, you get all the luck, but other than shit, it's the fan, doesn't it?
It does.
The only thing is, I don't know if you can always be ready for promotion, though. That's the thing, because to be fair to Oxford, they had been flirting with it for quite a number of years. They'd always been in and around the playoff area, and they'd been unlucky on a couple of times. But I think, to be fair, the way it fell for them that year, I mean, they played St Albans in the playoff final, and they were 4-0 up by half time. Like, they were probably in a massive state of shock. I mean, Ross Jenkins done a tremendous job. And to be fair to them, I thought they did better at the National League than I thought they would. I really thought they'd be where, like, Ebbsfleet are at the moment in terms of the amount of points they had. But they really gave it a good go, actually. And I think they deserve a lot of credit. But that's the thing. I mean, you know, like you say, Claire, you breathe that losing mentality, and it can slip down into, you know, the leagues. I found that with Dover Athletic. You know, they were National League not long ago, and they've had so many bad seasons of losing. It's only been this season they've actually started to get a bit of a winning mentality again. So it does happen, and that's the thing. I think it's always got to be, the first thing's got to be on your mind if you get relegated is, right, make sure it doesn't happen again next year. That's the thing. You get a competitive squad together that can compete at that level, get experienced players in, players that know the division, and that, you know, they'll always keep at least a drift of safety. Because to be fair, when we went down to the National League, what the first thing foremost was get 50 points. Because then that's the thing, you don't want to slip into that 2 relegations in a row, because it happens so many times. So yeah, it's a difficult one for Oxford. I do hope they stay up. Obviously, for Uncle Nick's sake, we hope they stay up. I know he doesn't keep an eye on it as much as he used to, but yeah,
I think that's why they've been on like a massive sudden downfall, because Nick's changed allegiances and went to support them. They've just never won since.
I miss Uncle Nick.
No, we all miss Uncle Nick, and if you are listening, Uncle Nick, please come back soon. I'm just going to quickly read through Smitty Fan Chris's match report. Alfreton home, this is the 4th time we've played Alfreton, 2 cup games and 2 league games, and we've beaten them for the 3rd time this season with an impressive 3-1 win at the Brewery Field. First half, it was Corey McEwen, I'll say McEwen, And Callum Ross, who scored to give us a lead at half-time. Glenn Taylor scored his 201st goal in his career. Scores every week, that bugger, didn't he? Alfred got a goal back in the 66th minute, but Moores, I've got it somewhere. There we go. Moores got the 3 points. Now on to Kidderminster away, or Kidderminster, as they're now called, which will be very tough. Yeah, fair enough. And let's see what this does to the league table, as Ben said before. Very, very close at the top now. If only someone could put that on Twitter, might get 1 million views again, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 1.5 million.
We've got Chestertown, top of the league with.
Town?
Yes, Chestertown, isn't it?
No, just Chester.
It's a city. Sorry, I'm very sorry. Chester City. Because I used to play for Chestertown. I'm going to say, if they ever got top of the National League North, it's obviously without me. Chester City, atop on 62 points. But Scunthorpe and Brackley do have a game in hand. So Scunthorpe can go above them if they win that one. Brackley in third, Chorley in fourth, Hereford fifth, Kings Lynn Town in sixth, they're a town, and Kidderminster, or however we're saying them now, are seventh, and in the relegation zone. Very close as well down there. Obviously, we mentioned Oxford, they're only 2 points off. Do have a game in hand, so you would think they need to win that, but obviously losing two, they might need them at the weekend. They're going to have to really, hit the ground running coming back. But we've got Marine, who are down there on 31 points, Rushall Olympic on 26, Farsley on 26, and Warrington, who are, I'm afraid, probably done. They're on their 25 points. For me, I think that's one of Marine upwards, isn't it? Probably Radcliffe, Oxford or Needham. I think Scarborough have just got enough points now, haven't they? Maybe not 6 points clear, but yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I think that's going to be an interesting league, though, for us to keep our eye on. Right, let's have a look, see where we are now. I'm going to post all of those lovely faces while I find the next slides. Charlotte, please come back.
I just want to let you know that they're not called Chester City, they're just called Chester.
Chester, sorry, Chester. Sorry that I added a city on to them. Let's go to the National League. Jen, I'll go back to you. Any results on here? A lot of draws.
Yeah, there's a lot of draws on there. Like a lot of draws. I'd probably say Forest Green losing. Obviously, they are near the top at the minute, so losing a game is going to dampen their getting them back up into the Football League. So that is a huge, huge loss for them. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, you're right. Chester FC, not City. All right, man, calm down, Ali. Jesus.
That was a bit aggressive, Alex.
Calm down,
kids.
While you're chatting on there, Claire, anything there for you?
I think you can't ignore it. Barnet, I know the top of the league, but they are absolutely smashing it at the moment. Banging form. I think they've won something like, I don't know, every week apart from one since the middle of January. I know it's not that long ago, but I'm pretty sure they've played quite a lot of games in that short space of time.
Yeah, it's been a lot of Saturday Tuesdays, hasn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely a massive win for me. York getting another win because, again, another team that are up there. I think it's competitive at that top end of the table. I know York have got a couple of games in hand over Barnet at the top. Win that, they're literally bang on the same points as each other, I think. It's just smashing it at the minute, aren't they? And other than that, a really good win for Altrincham.
Yeah, and that brilliantly segues onto Luke's match report, which is short and sweet today. I wonder why. By far the most frustrating game performance I've witnessed so far this season. Couldn't get up to speed in that game whatsoever. Fair play to Altrincham, though, for their win. And to be fair, though, Luke, you didn't really lose because Altrincham don't have a green line next to the name, so take that.
Let's just while we're on that game, just want to wish a massive good luck to Ethan Ross, who is a lovely, lovely man. Altrincham's goalkeeper who did his ACL during that game. So just want to wish him all the best for his recovery.
Yeah. No,
good luck anyway.
we had him on loan for a while as well. But we got relegated to National League. So but back in 2018-19, we had him for a month. We did, but we never kept hold of him. So yeah, I wish all the best to Ethan and that. Yeah, good keeper.
Such a good guy.
It's not often you see keepers doing the ACL either, do you? You know, I know Chris Kirkland did it, didn't he? But it's not often that happens. But yeah, I wish him all the best. Definitely. Just want to mention, because obviously we can all hate Fylde again because of this. Kevin Phillips has parted ways with Fylde.
Everyone apart from you, Anne.
Well, I can hate him now because obviously the man, my favourite footballer of all time, is obviously left. Did they play midweek? Yeah, so that's probably the game that cost me his job. At home to Boston. It hasn't quite worked for Phillips, to be fair. They haven't really got that manager bounce from him. So, but he hasn't lasted long.
For any manager there, because the person in charge of that club is another wanker.
Fair play. And obviously, I know that Charlotte can't be here, but obviously 2 draws for Rochdale. Obviously Southend on Saturday and Halifax Town. I don't think the Halifax Town's that bad of a result, but obviously Dale seemed to be stuttering. And, you know, we mentioned a few weeks ago that they had all them games in hand, but they're losing ground now and they're going to have to start winning it. I think it's like, it reminds us of like the Maidstone thing, what Ben said before. They maybe just need that one lucky goal or a long range effort that goes in or something. But obviously we want Rochdale to go up. But yeah, maybe at a point where, you know, Jim McNulty maybe needs his plan B, because a lot of Rochdale fans that I'm seeing on Twitter are saying he hasn't got this plan B and stuff. But disappointing so far for them, you know, disappointing year so far for them. So we hope that they get better. Sorry. Do you think it's because though they had all that, you know, time where they didn't play? And now that they are playing catch-up and stuff, it's trying to start again.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, I think to be fair as well, it could always be the fact that they've had so many games to play recently that they just haven't got the squad to do with it at the moment. I mean, obviously, Charles will be able to tell us better than anyone, but when you've been asked to, you know, it's all good and well having these games in hand, but the fact is you've got to play them, and you know, you've got a lot of you know, players that are going to have to play a lot of minutes in a short space of time, Saturday, Tuesday in that division, you know, and having to do so many mileage for them. I know a lot of them probably be at home anyway, so another home pitch has been struggling this season. But yeah, I do fear for them a little bit. But obviously, that's the thing. Like, you know, you said, and I think all you need is, like, say, is that one lucky goal. I mean, they're not really conceding a massive amount, but again, they're having a bit of a problem like us. They're not scoring enough at the moment, and I think that could be, you know, the Sada and letting them down. I mean, it is still in their own hands. That's the thing. So they can't look past that, and that's what Jim McNulty will be drilling into the place. And look, it's not, you know, it is ours to lose. That's the thing. Like, you've just got to pick up, you know, from somewhere and get themselves back in, because Rochdale should be in the playoffs. There's no doubt about that. You know, they should be at least busy in those playoff places. And if they finish outside the players, I think that might be a bit of a disappointment to them, considering how well, you know, they were doing at one point where they were sort of, you know, flirting with second and third. So, yeah, the fact they didn't make the playoffs would be a disaster for them, I think. So hopefully they can put it together soon.
I think we all need to agree with Johnny, though. They need to give Hendo more minutes. He only got 4 minutes, you know, like on Tuesday night. It's just stupid, isn't it? what are they expecting a 40-year-old player to do in 4 minutes?
You know, somebody who's a scout, and I know he does watch occasionally, so hi, Stuart, if you're watching. Is the Scout Football, and he put on his Instagram that it was a shocking match as well. So,
yeah.
Can you think of any positives? Nah. No. Imagine his notes. Shit.
One word, that's it.
Send us somewhere else. Started watching Corrie in second half.
Good enough.
No. Spenny's put this on, obviously, Railston, you know, we'd mentioned it before, they beat Yeovil. And then another big win away to Braintree. So, yeah, they're doing really well at the bottom end of the table, aren't they? The Raider must be over the bloody moon, mustn't he? Bless him. But, yeah, another good win for Altrincham as well, as, you know, backed up that result the other day as well on Saturday, so against Gateshead. Yeah. But Luke has mentioned about Gateshead, speaking of Gateshead, absolutely mental game compared to Saturday. Probably the game of the season right there. 2-0 up, 2-3 down, and then to 4-3. Unbelievable goals. Vanarama, I like that. Vanarama National League strikes again. mean, that must be class. Like, you're thinking, you've won the game at 2-0, then you're getting beat, and then come back to win. Class. Yeah. And fair play to all the Sutton fans that came up there. So they sent like quite a few up, which that's a good long journey on Tuesday night. So yeah, fair play to them.
I didn't realise that Barnet had got that win against York as well, because obviously first v second, 3-1's a really good win there for Barnet, especially with York having the games in hand. And it's as well as much as they've got games in hand, it's about points on the table, in it.
Yeah, definitely. Just look cap at it there saying that Wailston, he's got a soft spot for them. Really nice club. Yeah, they sound like it. Everyone else is shaking their heads, so I'll do it on that one. Let's see what that does to the table. Barnet and 7-point gap now, and obviously even if York win both them games in hand, they're still behind. So Barnet in front. 70 points, I think, on 33 games. Really good return, isn't it? At this point of the season, it's really, really good return. That York are in second, Forest in third, Oldham fourth despite losing on Tuesday. Gateshead back up to fifth, Altrincham sixth, and AFC Halifax Town are completing the playoffs. Look at Southend. Southend have come from nowhere, haven't they? Getting up there and overtaking Rochdale, who still have 4 games in hand. So fingers crossed.
Come on, the
Up the deal. And then at the bottom, we've got Aldershot, AFC Fylde, Boston, and Ebbsfleet, who are still hanging on for dear life down there. But as we mentioned, Wealdstone now out the relegation zone, so fair play to them.
I can't believe Aldershot they've slipped into the bottom 4. I mean, they haven't got a bad side down there. I mean, I know they've got a couple of games in hand, but I really feared them. I mean, to be fair, they should have gone down a few years ago when we got relegated the first half of the National League. They did finish in the bottom 4, but because of Gateshead's situation financially, meant that they were reprieved. So I think, to be fair, they're getting to a point where maybe going down might be the best thing for them to regroup again, because they should not be anywhere near that, especially after the FA Cup run they had last year, getting to the third round. So I would have thought the money might have been a world of good. We're getting a big tie at West Brom, so What are you both there? Did they beat by any chance?
they beat like Swindon 7-4 or
They
something.
hammered them, didn't they? Yeah.
They beat Jack Carter Patrick. Love that man.
So we'll move on to League Two now. As I said before, we are doing it in reverse because I want to do something different and because I opened the slides at the wrong place. So let's go to League Two. Jen, like I said, the absolute football derby, Morecambe against Accrington. Tell us all about it.
It was a must not lose going into that game. We could not lose that, because if we lost that, I think it could have been, okay, that's it, we're going down. It's that simple. But the game was fantastic from all angles. The players were incredible from start to finish. Ryan Schofield, who is taken over Harry, he made some fantastic saves. Stanley easily could have been 3-0 up in the first half. Easily. They had some incredible shots, and Ryan was able to save them. If one of their goals went in, I think we probably would have lost that game, because once we go down 1-0, the boys just put their heads down and they just think that's it and they don't give it a go. But we came out in the second half and we just played unbelievable. Lee Angle scored an incredible goal, but I must say, Accrington Stanley's goalkeeper is the worst goalkeeper in League Two. Like, but hands down, if you watch the match highlights, like, I'm sorry. He could have saved Angle's goal. He just kind of stood there and didn't do anything. And I was just stood there watching it like, did that really just happen? Like, he didn't even attempt to try and save it. And then obviously Jed Garner, who's come back to us, he scored in like the 80th minute. And that was even worse, because it slowly rolled in. So we're all just stood there like waiting for this goal to go in, and the goalkeeper just wasn't moving. And I was just like, he's bad. Like, he's bad. I know we're struggling for goalkeepers, but he's bad. But afterwards, it was one of them where it felt like, okay, we can do this. Like, we can survive and we can stay in this league. So going into Tuesday, it was like, okay, Doncaster are in the top half of the table. let's see what we can do. And I don't know what happened on Tuesday, but it all fell apart. I don't know what happened. Within 3 minutes, they scored and the ball was in the back of the net. And it was just like, what the hell has happened here? And then in the first half, our goalkeeper went down injured. It has now come out that he is out for 3 to 4 weeks. So we have two goalkeepers down now. Stu has gone back for surgery for his hip. He's going to be out for the season now. I don't think he'll ever play again, if I'm honest.
Wow.
So he's had really, really bad time. Bless him. And then Ryan's done something to his hip. I don't know what it is with people with our goalkeepers and hips, but they need to sort it out. So we've got Harry. He's probably going to be our starter now. And we're probably going to have to bring one of our academy goalkeepers up to sit on the bench just in case. He is only 17. But we don't.
Like, I think at that age, although it's not really ideal, it can go the other way. And like, I really do rate your chances of getting out of it. So if that happens and he's got a part to play in it, like, what an experience that'll be.
Yeah, he's been around the first team quite a bit this season. Derek rates him very, very highly. He likes him a lot. He was with us for the Chelsea game. He was on the bench for the Chelsea game. So as a 17-year-old going to a Premier League ground like that, you're going to think, wow, okay, this is what I could do. He works incredibly hard. He is an unbelievable goalkeeper for the academy. I just think if he gets the chance, he'll take it and he'll go for it, because at that age, there's going to be people watching you. You only get 3 years in a Morecambe academy, and then if you don't graduate to the first team, you're out. So I think if he comes in on Saturday and he sits on that bench and he helps the team, then that's what we need. But otherwise, I think we'll be fine. I generally think after the game against Accrington, I was a bit worried, thinking, okay, if we don't win this, then yeah, maybe we are going down. But after the Accrington game, I just felt like we can do this. Like,
yeah, I
just feel like we've got the team, we've got the spirit. All the lads after the game in Accrington were just unbelievably happy. I did see Rhys Williams after the game in the tunnel, and you know when you say you shouldn't fall in love with a lone player, yeah, I kind of did. He was going through the tunnel and he kissed the badge. So it's just like, that's it, I'm sold.
What some players doing kissing the badge? Like, that's asking for you to just come back and play there.
Yeah, I've always loved Rhys Williams. He's such a good guy. He's such a nice guy, and he deserves this chance to be on a team where he can show what he is. And even though he is on loan from Liverpool, he's such a down-to-earth lad. He talks to all the fans. He's incredible with the staff. Like, I do think if we can get a takeover and we can buy him out of Liverpool, that would be incredible. But I think when he goes back, it's going to be pure heartbreak. But that's what you get when you get loan players and then you fall in love with them. And it's hard, but I just think he deserves this chance to be able to play for a team like us and experience what he experienced when he played for Liverpool. So I just think he's incredible, and I really, really hope we manage somehow to keep him, but I don't think that'll happen, but we'll see.
Just very quickly, like, I've left Sean's question there. Can you get an emergency goalkeeper in? Because obviously, if it's just a 17-year-old kid and one goalkeeper, is that? I don't know if that meets the criteria or not, because it seems to change the mind over. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know if.
I'll have to, and if he's
I think from Derek's point of view, he's obviously had Alfie on the bench quite a few times. He's seen Alfie in training. He's seen him play with the academy. I think if worse comes to worse and Harry goes down and then it is just Alfie, then I think he will probably look at an emergency goalkeeper. But as for now, we've got Harry, who is an incredible goalkeeper. Yeah. And then we've got Alfie on the bench from the academy. And I think he's more than happy to have them two up to for now and see, because we could use the money elsewhere and something else that we might need further down the line. But if it comes to it, I don't think I'd be surprised if we did get an emergency goalkeeper at all.
It's a good it's also, good to have a trust in a 17-year-old kid, to be fair, and he's going to think this is class, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's great to see. Obviously, you don't want your goalkeepers to be injured or anything like that, but what a chance it could be.
Yeah, and Derek really, really praises like some of our academy lads, like Alfie. There's a guy called Nathan Snowball, absolutely love the name, by the way. That's literally his last name, and he absolutely rates him. he's a Geordie as well, which makes it even better. But yeah, he's an incredible player, and he's been in the team a couple of times. So again, if injuries come, we've got the academy there, and that's what I think is so important to have an academy like that, because it showcases the talent. Like, we had the talent with Adam Mayer, we sold him to Millwall, and it's things like that money from Adam Mayer could help sign other players, and if we sell like other future projects down the line, that money can help us. I just think it's so important to have an academy that works.
Yeah, no, I agree. And to be fair, we mention it all the time here regarding like money and this, that, and the other. Without your academy, your team's nothing. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about, bringing the young players up and everything like that. And fingers crossed, hopefully he's not needed, because that means another goalkeeper might be injured or something like that. But I'm sure if Derek's got the trust in him, I'm sure it'll be absolutely fine. While we're on, Jen, while you're on, we'll go into League Two. And what's the highlight of that? I'm sure you're looking at the Carlisle United game going, crap.
Yeah, that's literally what we're doing now. Like, it's watching Carlisle, it's watching Tranmere, it's looking at them and seeing what they're doing. We could have done with Tranmere losing, but it's not the worst situation. We are only 2 points from safety now. We have better goal difference. I honestly don't think Tranmere are going to survive.
That Carlisle United's wrong, isn't it? Because it was 0-0, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think there were 2 draws. Yeah.
And also Port Vale. Oh yeah, that's on Thursday, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. The Carlisle game's definitely wrong. So I remember looking at it and thinking, I'm sure it was 0-0 on Saturday, unless there was 5 goals.
No, I'm pretty sure they were like 0-0 and ones.
Yeah, we'll leave them off. But Jenna, sorry, I said you. What about you, Claire? In that one, what do you think?
Yeah, look, you give the win to Accrington and Stanley there, not Morecambe.
That wasn't me. I didn't do the
so
crying.
It's not really about the game itself, but it's about Tranmere. So
yes,
Tranmere have got a potential takeover happening, and it's all a bit strange because the person who's leading the consortium is Donald Trump's former lawyer, Joe Tacopino or whatever he's called, and it's like that rapper ASAP Rocky or whatever he's called. Is that what called?
ASAP Rocky.
ASAP Rocky.
I don't even know it.
He's married to Rihanna.
Yeah, he's going out with Rihanna.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit who he is, to be quite honest. But it's a consortium with all these people. And
he's not the Blossoms, is he, Claire? He's not the Blossoms.
Just Blossoms. Yeah, so apparently that's taken a step further now, and it was being delayed because he was at court over shooting his mate or something and got found not guilty this week. So I actually bumped
Can I just quickly say before we get sued, allegedly shooting his mate?
No, sue him, please.
He was at court. Like,
yeah, no, he was.
And then he was found not guilty. So, yeah, he was found not guilty. I actually bumped into Christian Dennis before at Sainsbury's. I don't know if you saw that message in the group chat, but I was chatting with him about county because he used to play for us and he played for Carlisle when they beat us at Wembley. Anyway, he plays for Tranmere now. And it mustn't be a secret because, you know what, he told me in the middle of the shop and I'm not mates with him. But he was saying that things are really tough at Tranmere right now and that they've all been told that this transfer should go through in the next few weeks. So you have to think about that as well from, obviously, Jen's not going to want that to go in right now.
No.
But you've got to think of that from a point of view is, like, if that does go through, like, is it going to change their season in terms of the players' confidence? Obviously, they can't bring anyone in now, other than free transfers. But, like, they're right down there with you. So what would your thoughts be on that, Jen?
I just think, like the protest group put before, there's been so many clubs that have been bought before us and we've been up for sale for nearly 3 years now. It is starting to take the piss, like generally take the piss now. Like we see things like this with Tranmere and stuff, like fair play, if it goes through, and then we're still stuck in the mud.
Yeah.
And it's just like, when is it going to change for us? Like it's frustrating as a Morecambe fan to see all these other clubs getting takeovers and having this potential big buyer coming in, and we're still sat there with this dickhead not doing anything to sell the club and not helping the club in any way. It's just, it's frustrating, and I just feel like I'm constantly talking about Morecambe being up for sale, and trust me, I'm as sick as it as everyone else is. Like I just want to be able to go and enjoy the football and not have to worry if Liam's going to get paid 1 week or if he's not going to get paid 1 week, and then are we going to have a squad next year? Like, are we going to be down to no players like we was this season, where we had to do a full rebuild? And it's like, is Derek going to stay? Like, we're all very aware as fans that Derek is on a month-to-month contract. Like, he could up and leave if he wanted to. But I don't think personally he would, because he loves his club as much as we do. But it's frustrating to see clubs like Tranmere getting these big buyers, and we're still sat here like, when the hell are we going to get a club? Like, I don't know if everyone's seen, but our pitch is atrocious at the minute. Basically, it has a disease on the pitch, and the groundskeepers cannot fix it because they do not have the money. It's as simple as maintaining it until the end of the season and ripping it up, because that is what it's come to. We can't even look after the pitch because he's not willing to put any money into it. And people can put stuff on social media and say stuff about the pitch and stuff, but until you've been in our situation, you don't understand what it's actually like to walk into that ground and see the pitch like that, when previous year it was fantastic. It's frustrating, but if Tranmere get the takeover
as well, it is going to be, you know, if you can't treat it, like I said, with all the rain and all the bad weather we've had, of course it's going to get worse.
Yeah, we've literally had we've got 3 back-to-back home games. Like, the groundskeepers have tried their best to maintain that pitch, and I feel sorry for him because they can't do anything, and it's frustrating as fans because you can see how frustrated the groundskeepers are, and it's annoying to know that we can't even look after our pitch because he's not willing to put money in for the lads.
Yeah. Ben, just before we move on, any results that actually happened that stand out for you?
I wanted to give a shout out to my boy for Levi Manchester getting his first goal for Walsall against Chesterfield in a 3-1 win. You know,
massive win, wasn't it?
Well, it was. To be fair, they needed that because they've been in such a bad run, haven't they? Ever since the lad went back to Stoke City, wasn't it? And you know they needed to pull out a win somewhere. And Chesterfield have been no mugs this season. They've really given themselves a good shot, you know, of a playoff place. But they desperately needed that. And I know it meant a lot to Levi because again, Levi was one that someone knew Devontae really well, and I think he dedicated his goal to him. Which was really nice. So, and you know, fair play to because he's been on the bench a lot at Bromley, and I know he's been on the bench since he joined Walsall. But to think last season he was playing at grounds in front of 400 or 500 people, and now he's scoring in the top end of League Two in the space of a year. Fair play to him. I'm really pleased for him. So, yeah, that'd probably be a standout. But obviously, like I say, in the context of the situation, like as Jen said, obviously it wasn't a must. It was a must not lose game. Morecambe's winning is actors massive because that could well change the context now in the relegation battle. I just hope that it's one more step to take closer to taking those Gills down. I really hope so.
Well, let's see what it's done to the relegation battle. It has, in one word, opened it up. And I know Morecambe, obviously, we mentioned Morecambe losing the other night, Jen, against Doncaster. But for me, your season's not going to be highlighted on whether you beat the team third in the league. It's whether you can beat them teams around you. You know what I mean? And you look at Harrogate, you know, we mentioned before, Gillingham, probably Barrow as well. You know, teams that can get brought down. And I think you just got to keep doing what you're doing, really.
Yeah, I definitely don't think we'll go down. I think Derek's going to be doing masterclass like it always does, and then he's going to get a statue outside the ground, and then
there we go. Well, like I said, let's have a look at the rest of the league table. Walsall's still out there, massive win for them, as Ben said, and they needed that, I think, because they've gone through a really, really bad run. So they're top, quite a distance clear of EFC Wimbledon, who've been brilliant this season. I'm so happy for them. I really hope that they manage to get there, especially it's the expensive franchise FC who were waltering down there in 16th place. Nothing makes us more happy on this podcast to see them absolutely tanking it and seeing AFC Wimbledon doing so well. Doncaster Rovers, 2 good wins for them, back up into 3rd. Notts County in 4th. Bradford, another side who I think are doing brilliantly. Obviously Deeply, who gets on in the chat and being on the show, obviously she's a Bradford fan. And again, I'm just so happy for her just to see how well they're doing. Port Vale, they're in 6th. And Crewe, who've been, again, on a very alarming slump. They're just in the playoffs, but you look at Salford, Grimsby, Chesterfield, teams can get up there. So it's going to be an interesting, an interesting, last few games for League Two. As exciting as it always is League Two. Claire, let's go on to League One now. Another win for the mighty Stockport County. Talk us through it. They're getting the chills again. They're getting like, "Ooh, can we do it?"
Is it bad if I say I don't want us to go up?
No, it's not bad at all.
I just think, obviously, I'm glad we are where we are, and if we did, I wouldn't be unhappy about it. Let's be honest. I just feel like, woo! I just feel like we need to not do things too quickly. Like, it's been great, and every year we've progressed, and it's fabulous. I'm enjoying thoroughly how well we're doing. I just think I think it might be too soon if we do go up. So I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm going to keep enjoying it. And if it happens, fucking min. If it doesn't happen, fucking min. I don't care. Yeah. I didn't think when we went up last season that I'd be sitting here saying that my team are in 4th in League One. I thought we'd give it a good go, but I thought it'd be mid-table. So I'm really, really happy with it. Obviously, Wigan are quite hard to break down as a team, and it took us till the 79th minute to get our first goal, and it was Bate right in front of the away fans, and they were I don't know if you've seen the highlights, the noise that came from our away end was just goosebump territory. And then it was only 3 minutes later we got our second goal through Will Collar to make it 2-0, and 2-0 it finished. Deserved the 3 points. And Cambridge away on Saturday. Yeah,
and managerless Cambridge as well. Obviously,
Neil Harris has gone back there.
I wanted to mention that about Neil Harris, because obviously he left there to go to Millwall, didn't he? And then obviously, what happened to Millwall's happened to Millwall, but he's gone there to Cambridge, who look to be relegated. To be fair, but
I rate it very highly.
Is the impossible journey possibly on? I don't know, because he's a cracking manager. So it's a strange. I think it's a good appointment for Cambridge. I think it's probably the best appointment Cambridge could have hoped for. But I think it might have come too late. I think if they'd done it in November, when he got sacked from Millwall, he left Millwall, didn't he? But maybe if they'd done that earlier, it might have given them a chance. I just think that I'll just quickly get the league table up, and I will go back to the results. But you look at them, it's a lot. It's 8 points. It's a lot, isn't it?
And you've got even though obviously they're in the bottom 4, Crawley are giving it a go and grinding out some results. Burton are giving it a go, and they've got a good manager in Gary Bowyer. They're giving it a go and grinding out some results. So it's going to be increasingly difficult if those 2 teams are grinding the results out. I just think that even if Cambridge do have a new manager bounce, the quality that we've got in our team should still get past them. We've got Oliver Norwood. I don't know why I said Oliver. Sounds very formal. Ollie Norwood, who was in the Premier League last season. Some of the balls that he is looking
I love Ollie Norwood, when he was in Ipswich, he did the old wrestler walk-ons when he was not the goal star, he was doing all that stuff. I love him. He's brilliant.
Yeah, some of the passes that he is pulling out of his bloody pocket are like ridiculous. Like, he is so good, and I'm being honest, he's too good for League One.
Yeah,
like, he is fucking quality. We've got Bate, who is too good for League One. I just think Cambridge have got some good players, don't get me wrong. They've got he used to play for Bolton, what's his name?
I like that.
Whatever his name is.
No.
I
What's his face?
I used to rate him when he played for Bolton, and it was at the point that when we played him when we were National League, so maybe it's not that great, but I agree, it's probably a bit too late for Cambridge, but even if they do have that bounce, Nicola, you should still be coming home happy. Sam's going well, so make sure you kick him in the shin or something.
It's a bit aggressive.
I think it helps as well, actually, for Cambridge that Mark Bonner's gone back there as well, hasn't he? He's gone there as director of football, which is interesting because obviously he's the one that got him up to League One last season.
Yeah.
So again, whether that experience of that success that he had, might give him a bit of a chance. I think it's interesting they've gone for 2 ex-Gills managers though in the last year that they've had. So I do find it interesting though that Bonner's only gone up to a director of football though, and not actually on the sidelines, because I thought it might have been the other way around and Neil Harris be the director of football. But I guess with his coaching experience at a higher level, that might be why they've gone for that approach. But I think in terms of Cambridge, that would be a feel-good factor around the club. And they've got someone back that brought such success to the club. I know obviously it's not going well for them on the pitch this season, but having them someone that knows the club really well, I'm guessing that was the thought process behind it. So it might give them a little bit of a chance. I personally agree with you guys. I think it's too late for them, but next season they could really build on and maybe bounce back at the first attempt.
You never know as well, though, because I know there are a few weeks in front, but Gareth Ainsworth's doing a good job with Shrewsbury, and they're getting. I know they got beat Saturday, but they've been pulling out some good results. Beat didn't they? They've beat quite a lot of teams. We were
week as well, didn't they? Yeah, they did 1-0. Yeah, I thought they did.
But I think the only thing I mean by obviously pointing all those teams out is everybody in and around there is giving it a go. So I think you're right in that Cambridge being where they are, I just think it is a bit too late. Yeah.
Just before we ask, obviously, everyone else their opinions on this one, I'm just going to, because there's a couple of match reports have come in, I just want to read them up before I lose them, because I will. Graham, Birmingham away, a case of what could have been. We weren't really at the races, but we were always in the game, as Birmingham weren't great either. A good goal from Stansfield, but poor defensively from us. I watched a little bit of that game and I thought Charlton were unlucky, to be honest. Again, we could have got something fun, but as Claire says, we're all fat and no poo. That's actually quite that's the censored version. Back home Saturday was Exeter, so chance to still in the conversation for the playoffs. Yeah, and I think you would have took that at the start of the season, Graham. We've got some big fixtures coming against teams all around us all to play for. And Aled has put in for Northampton.
So tight over that playoff.
It is tight, yeah, it is. And Aled's put obviously Northampton away, a brilliant early performance from us, and definitely could have scored 1 or 2 more in the game. And I saw an away win travelling down for a 12:30 kickoff, which was fully worth it, which is fair enough. I didn't realise Ollie Rathbone played for Wrexham, and I love Ollie Rathbone. He is a former Rochdale player, but he was, every time we were down in League One, he was unreal against us. Like, he absolutely tore Lyndon Gooch apart when we played him down there. I think it was him and Callum Camps, who now plays for Stockport, who were they were proper
what a fucking player he is as well.
My heart.
He changed that. I should have said it before. Callum Camps turned around our game on Saturday. It was after he came on that things went our way.
Yeah, I'd like him as well. Look, Ollie Rathbone. For me, Ollie Rathbone's my player of the season. There we go. Spot a good one, me. Claire, just while you were talking, is there any other games there that we haven't mentioned that you'd cast your eye over, like Leighton Orient kind of stand out for me?
Yeah, Leighton that is definitely a good win, but they are in great form at the minute. Aside from when they played us, I think it's a good win for Bolton. Obviously, they've been a bit a little bit indifferent all season, really. Although they are still up there. And Reading, I just like to see Reading doing well given what's going on. But you have to say, even though it's 3-3, Blackpool Mansfield must have been some game.
Yeah.
I think as well, I might be wrong, but I think Blackpool will either 2-0 or 3-0 up.
3-0. Oh no, 3-0 down.
And yeah, you don't see that much from the Steve Bruce side as well, though, like conceding, that many goals, especially when you're up. Normally he's like a manager, when you get ahead, they stay ahead.
No, when Mansfield were winning, weren't they?
Yeah, Mansfield 3-1 up, they were.
Mansfield are winning. Oh, sorry, yeah. But even from Cloughy, though, as well, like, he's normally quite a good defensive-minded manager, isn't he? And,
Mansfield are not doing very well at the minute at all. I think they had their annual win against us away. And as they did last season, they just collapsed for a little bit after. They'll be all right, but they just seem to, when they win the league at our place, seem to fall back a bit.
I didn't realise actually how far they'd slipped down the table, actually. Yeah. I didn't realise they were down to 15.
Oh, yeah. They're not in Capitals. So basically, if you're Mansfield next season, don't win away to Stockport if you are in the same league.
It's a certain that always beat us every single time we play them. Every time.
Just looking at the midweeks as well. Obviously, Mansfield getting hammered off Lincoln. Stevenage losing to Burton. Burton are really doing well now. Like we mentioned before, new manager bouncing Gary Boy. He's done such a good job there. Wrexham getting beat off Leyton Orient. Again, another great win for Leyton Orient. And Wigan Wanderers getting the first win under Mike Dodds. So well done, Doddsy. Keeps them in the top two as well. And obviously that's going to go down to the wire. I think Birmingham are up, but you look at the league table now. We look at Wigan winning there. Wrexham not. There's a 5-point gap there now. So Wigan in pole position to join Birmingham at the top of the league. I mean, Birmingham. Are we saying Birmingham are up now? 6 points clear with 2 games in hand.
Yeah.
But yes, as Spenny puts in them, we mentioned it last week. I mean, Peterborough being so far. I mean, it shocked me. I know, Clay, you weren't watching us last week, but it shocked me to see they were that low down. I didn't know they were that low down, and obviously they drew at Stevenage, didn't they? But that's we're seeing like teams who, and you mentioned Shrewsbury as well. Shrewsbury only 4 points off them.
Yeah. Shrewsbury were rock bottom for a good few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I really rate Gareth Ainsworth anyway. I think he's a fantastic manager.
I like Gareth Ainsworth.
Yeah. He's just got that likability factor about him as well.
Yeah, he is. I mean, there's just so many good videos you can see. But I always remember when we beat them in the playoff final, he was so magnanimous in defeat. And you normally see a manager who just like, you know what, we were unlucky this time. He said, Sunderland deserved to win this time, and he was so good about us. So yeah, I do wish him all the best. I must admit. Sorry, carry on. No, go on.
I was just going to the thing with like the relegation fight, battle, whatever, in League One is that if you're not involved in it, it's going to be exciting. And the same probably with the playoff battle as well, because that's close as well, really.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be an exciting one, isn't it? As Sean said, Northampton aren't out of relegation. I don't think Bristol Rovers are as well, so we probably could include Exeter and Wigan in that. Yeah, it's only 6 points to Exeter, Wigan, and Bristol Rovers. And as we mentioned before, Mansfield Town, who are in free fall, could be sucked into that. If those teams keep winning, say if Shrewsbury, Crawley, and Burton go on another run where they say 4 or 5 games unbeaten, or 1 defeat and 5 or whatever, it's going to shoot them right up there. If those teams who aren't playing well aren't getting results, exactly. They're in like a negative mentality, aren't they?
Yeah, and I think the special thing about Burton's win on Tuesday night as well, they really, really, really got a slice of luck. And it's one of those things we were talking about before. Like, sometimes when you're struggling, you just need that bit of luck. They were down to 10 men for more than half an hour in that game.
Yeah.
Stevenage, like Jamie Reid, had a penalty that was missed. So I feel like they've obviously got a bit of luck with that penalty being missed. The minute after that is when Terence, I can't say his surname, got sent off. but like they've, as a team, ground out 3 points away from home on a Tuesday night with 10 men for obviously over half an hour. You've got to then think, actually, that's probably going to do their confidence the world of good.
Yeah, and they're going to be the games where you're thinking, if we can do that away, to a difficult side in Stevenage, especially on a night game, when it's cold and everything like that. And Stevenage are just one of those sides who will just pull results out of nowhere, aren't they? They've done such a good job as well. Yeah. But they're going to go into Saturday thinking we can beat anyone now, can't they? You know what I mean? Especially doing that. It's a great result. And yeah, fair play to Burton. But obviously, Aled has mentioned regarding Wrexham's defeat to Leyton Orient. First half, obviously, we edged it performance-wise, but second half, we were terrible. Orient were very resolute defensively, one of the best sides I've seen at home this season. We haven't beat Orient since 2003. And Tuesday's the 9th meeting since that game in 2003. There you go.
I'm going to just, I don't want to piss on your chips or anything, but I don't think you were the better team that day, mate. I think Leyton Orient defended really well. And I think they had more possession as well. I know you had more shots, but it's one of them where you have loads of shots that are from distance, that one of them where you go, oh, we'll let them shoot from there all day. Like, that's how I felt watching it anyway. Like, that Wrexham never had a hold on that game.
Apparently that guy's name is Van Kooten.
That's it.
Van Kooten.
Terence Van Kooten. What a fucking name that is. Great name. Great.
Sounds like a really bad second-hand shop, doesn't it? Like Van Mildred, Van Kooten. He said, to be fair to Aled, and I agree, he didn't seem they were a better team in the game, only the first half.
Oh, right. I apologise then, Aled, because I did not hear that bit. But
just edged it first half. Christ, where are they gone?
They've got another 3 points coming up soon, because in other things that are guaranteed is we beat Wrexham at home, Wrexham beat us at home, so they've got another 3 points coming up soon.
Right. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to shout for help, because for some reason the slides have disappeared and I don't know what's happened. I don't know what's gone on with them. They've gone.
And there we got there.
They've gone. Honestly, they've gone. Unless Sam's left and the slides have gone, I'm just going to quickly message him. Can we talk about League One or something like that? I mean, I can talk about Sunderland if needs be.
Great game.
I'll get that back. Where is he? Sam.
Yeah. Champion. Do you want to talk about the Championship while we're doing it? Because we can just all load Fop Mob.
Yeah. I mean, who wants to know the League One table?
Oh, yeah. So, do you want me to read it out, Anne?
Yeah, you can do, yeah.
So, in League One, you've got top of the league, no surprises there. Birmingham, 69 points. Second are Wickham. Third are Wrexham. Fourth are the mighty Stockport County. Fifth are Huddersfield. And sixth are Leyton Orient. And the bottom four is Cambridge at bottom, Shrewsbury second bottom, Crawley and Burton. Crawley and Burton are actually on equal points. So it's just that Burton's got a 5 better goal difference.
Really? There we go.
Yeah.
Well done, Burton Albion. I think Burton as well. Weren't Burton at the start of the season, weren't they like the Cheltenham of League One? When Cheltenham took forever to score last season. Hadn't Burton not won till November or something? Sure, they went on
yeah, it did take them a long time, and I feel like it's all quite strange because they had a takeover, didn't they, in the summer?
Yeah.
They were supposed to be getting money and investing, and now you're like, okay, so why has it gone so wrong then? Why are you doing so bad?
It's like Carlisle, though, isn't it? They had that massive
yeah.
Bottom league too. It's like, what's going on? Yeah. We've got no money and shit owner, and we're above you. Surely you should be above us.
I can tell you right now, though, Randa, that they didn't get their first win until the 9th of November. And to be fair, I think if you don't win for the first 3-4 months of the season and you're still in a fighting chance of staying up, I think that just shows how far they've come since then. That's mental.
9th of November. Wow.
Yeah. We won one FA Cup game against Scarborough, and that is it.
Look at that. He I don't know what. I honestly don't know what happened there. It literally, because that disappeared, and then the thing at the end disappeared as well. I have no idea what happened. I'm just going to put on. Can you put end?
I'm just.
Ooh, there we go. Right. Oh, championship.
Yay!
Get out of the way, Anne.
No,
You want me to get out of the way? I will.
don't get it out of the way.
You don't want to get out of the way?
What's she
No,
doing?
I'm just going for a minute.
Okay. So I'll talk about Sunderland while Claire's having a quick break. I knew that's where she was going as well. Right. Do you know what? Again, I don't think we played badly. I don't think we played badly at all. I think what we saw on Monday night was the best team in the league getting the job done. And that's where we need to be, as in what we want to be, a Leeds, Sheffield. You know, I'll mention Sheffield United because I know Johnny's still in, or if he is still in, because I watched Sheffield United's game on Saturday against Luton, and I thought Sheffield United were terrible and they won. Whereas we're playing well, which I thought we did play well, especially in the first half, and against a very, very good side. Again, as our season going to be. Is it going to be, you know, are we going to go at the end of the season and think, well, if only we beat Leeds? I disagree. I thought we took the game to them. We stopped Leeds doing what Leeds could do. We stopped them playing. You know, we defended really, really well. Got a goal on the counter-attack. Another absolute worldie from Wilson Isidore. The fact he could get that finish in. He was getting pulled. He was getting pulled back. He was getting, you know, getting dragged down and everything like that off Ethan Ampadu. Left him for dead. Scored at the corner. Brilliant first half. And then Daniel Farker, I think, makes two brilliant changes. He brings on Joe Rothwell, who's a set-piece specialist, and Strike, who is a goal-scoring defender. And they just literally went, we're going to try and get as many corners, as many free kicks. I think we gave a poor free kick for the first goal. I think it's a tired challenge from Patrick Roberts. They put it in. I think it's a foul. I think if that's in the Premier League, that gets disallowed for VAR. Because I think it was Sally Semek got pushed in the back, and it allowed, that was his man who got free as well. And then just when we thought, and I was sitting in the pub with my cousin, I was like, I'll take this now, I'll take it all day long. I think we played well. You know, corner comes in. I think it's Junior Fairwell, completely miscued it, goes wide to Joe Rothwell, who puts it in. I think Anthony Patterson makes a bit of a mistake. And then, Strike scores again, 2-1. I was gutted, but like when dust settled and all, I was like, you know what, we've took probably the best team in this league all the way at Ellen Road. So, you know, I was happy. I'm never happy with the defeat, but you know, we're still only 8 points off. Leeds have got to play Sheffield United on Monday, so someone's got to lose. If we beat Hull on Saturday, we're back to 5. With 12 games to go, we've still got a chance, you know, and we can't leave Burnley out of it because Burnley just don't concede goals, but fair play to Leeds. I think Leeds now, I think that's a result that takes Leeds up now because they're just going to have so much confidence. The fact that, you know, they didn't play well on Monday night, but got 3 points. It is what it is. Just going to quickly pause because our Shah's in the chat. Hey everybody, hope you're all good. Amazing show so far. You obviously haven't been watching, Shah. Thank you so much for stepping in. You are more than welcome, and I hope that you enjoy the Rochdale top that is donning the mirror tonight.
Gorgeous with Cammy Eye Girl.
Loads of Shah in the chat. Look at that. Yeah, I think that's hope you well, Shah. Sean, not looking forward to Saturday. Bristol Rovers at home, and we know what happened last time on the final day of the season. We do. Got hammered. Let's have a look. Not a bad result for Bristol City against Cardiff. On didn't I? Great result in midweek. Yeah, Bristol City. I think they're in the playoffs now. So you know they're going to be a team to watch out for. There's loads of teams to watch out for. You know, we mentioned. You know, we're going to probably mention Coventry, but they're to watch out for. And there's obviously the likes of Borough, who I think are out of anything now. I think Borough are done. They're losing games. West Brom aren't having the manager bounces what they thought they were getting under Tony Mowbray. They're dropping points left, right, and centre. So it's well open. I think, you know, as I said before, I think the top 4 is done. And now I think top's done because I think Leeds will win the league. But I don't know if where's Simon stood about just to give us a little match report regarding Coventry. But there we go. Love the shirt. So I've had enough of talking about Sunderland. We've got like I say, a big game at home to Hull on Saturday, which I would say now that's must win if we want to be in the top two. We've got to beat Hull. Hull are in the bottom three, I think, or at least down there. We've got to start picking up results now. We've got to go on a run where we win 6 out of 7 or 5 out of 6 or whatever, just to get us back in there. But I'll go to you, Jen, about any other results there, bar our defeat that took your fancy.
Luton and Sheffield United. I think Luton are done for now. I don't think they're gonna pick up any more points to survive, and it's horrible to see a team going from the Premier League to the Championship and then possibly going down to League One back to back. It's got to hurt for the fans, it's got to hurt for the players, but sometimes it's what you need to get back to where you're supposed to be, and then hopefully they can push on in League One and get back up. But then again, it's Plymouth, Blackburn Rovers. They won 2-0. I think it's all to play for at the bottom of the table. Like you said, the top half is pretty much done for, but I think the bottom half is still very much up for grabs.
Yeah, I just want to address this question there. Borough only fought West Brom, was 6, so I'm not totally out of it, but Borough they've lost 4 in a row. It's hard now to get that. I think that's quite hard, considering you look at the likes of Coventry, your Bristol Cities, even QPR, who are picking up results as well. And QPR are on a really bad run, but they're not a million miles out of it. But they got a really good result on Friday night against Derby. Obviously, we mentioned Gary Rowett leaving Blackburn for Derby. I bet he was thinking, I might get back on the phone to the thing. Christ, I think I might have made a little bit of a mistake there. But just to mention Blackburn, Ben, obviously we mentioned them last week as well. They lost the manager, but they won again there on Saturday. And I'm sure they won in midweek as well. I'm just double checking. It was midweek games. No, I'm completely wrong about that. I thought they did. But that's a good result, that 2-0 over Plymouth, who have been playing well lately.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that. I mean, Plymouth, that's the thing. I think you look in the context of things, the form they've been in, Plymouth, and the high they've had in the last few weeks with the FA Cup as well. That would have been a tricky fixture for Blackburn, to be honest. And I think I could have seen probably a point maybe out of that for Plymouth, but Plymouth, Blackburn sort of getting the job done, and that's the thing in terms of that. It gives them just a little bit of breathing space at the moment, knowing that they can slip up, because at this sort of stage of the season, like as we said, the top 4 is already sorted. It's a case of those last 2 playoff spots, and the fact they've got a 4-point gap now over Coventry is probably going to be key for them. But again, there's no real margin for error. Like, that's the thing. They've got to make sure they just keep grinding out results. But I mean, yeah, just like a quick judge. I mean, look, I'll talk about my man, Super Frank Lampard. I'm to put some respect on that man's name, because what he's done at Coventry since he's gone in there has been nothing short of remarkable. Because they were 2 points, was it, above relegation, and now suddenly they're a point off the playoffs. And I'm pretty sure it was an Ellis Sims last-minute goal on Saturday against
Sheffield. It was rotten goalkeeping, though. I hope he does one of them next Friday night.
Yeah, pretty much. But then again, you got to take it as and when it comes. And look, the momentum's with them at the moment, and I can see them making the playoffs if they can just keep, just grinding out results. And if they're winning games like that in the last minute against Sheffield Wednesday, who've been very good this season themselves since obviously the tough start they had at the start, then they've got every chance. But I mean, I can't see Coventry winning the playoffs. I do think it's going to be whoever doesn't, out of the one of Burnley or Sunderland or whoever at the top might slip into the playoffs as well. I think it's going to be one of them, that surely will do it. But you can never rule it out, can you? So, that'd be the 2 results. I would say that probably stand out for me.
The problem I've got with Coventry, see, if we did make the playoffs, I don't want to play them. Like, I'd rather play Blackburn over 2 games, because also Blackburn are quite similar, but I fancy us against Blackburn. Like, the Coventry one, because there's a little bit of that there's needle between us and Coventry that's gone years before I was born, so I don't particularly care about it. But there is that needle, and the fact that they're coming in form, if it is them, you know what I mean? Because there's still a hell of a lot of football to play. And I'll get out of the league in a minute. I'm just going to start spinning Chris's question, because I think it's a really good one. But on the other end of the table, Claire, Portsmouth doing so well. They were dead and buried as well, but now they're well out of it. But they've just lost Callum Lang, and he's been the one getting all their goals. So
see your point. do see your point. For me personally, on Portsmouth, I think, yeah, obviously that's a big loss, but they have got other players capable of stepping up. They won 2-0 away on Saturday, didn't they? At Oxford Fair, like Oxford went up the same time as them. But I do think Portsmouth have got a good chance because I know they had great home form and were struggling away, but they seem to be now picking up away as well. So I genuinely can see Portsmouth being fine. I think obviously the thing is, and it's the same as in League One, you've got teams down the bottom that are starting to grind out those results. So I think now Plymouth were rock bottom, like way below everyone. They're now 1 point away from safety.
Yeah.
So I think Portsmouth have put themselves in a fantastic position, really. I think they're like 18th or something. So they just need to keep doing their thing and they'll be absolutely fine, like 100% fine.
I'm just putting that one time for Sunderland's Adil to step up to replace Lang. You know what? I really hope he does, Adil Al-Shish, because he's a good player. I don't think he fitted into our system really, but he's a great player and a really good lad as well. He's quite funny as well off the pitch, so I hope he does it. I really do, and I hope they do stay up. To be fair, just want to as well mention Alan's comment here. I really hope Pompey stay up when we get a South Coast derby in the Championship. You didn't want to go up 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, no.
Oh, right. I read that as we get, and I was like, Wrexham are not on the South Coast. Get out. I think
Southampton,
yeah.
Isn't it?
I do think obviously Portsmouth have got a great chance. Just think, obviously Louis got his first start for Hull on Saturday, so hopefully, I've got to say that I hope Hull, go on a good run.
It can do as long as it's not starting on this Saturday.
If Louis scores a screamer past you, you're going to be like, for fuck's sake.
I'm not going. So we can do what he wants. I'm not there this weekend. So I share my season ticket with my cousin, and then what we sort of do if we both want to go, we buy like another ticket. But I've got to work this weekend, so she's getting a ticket. Yeah, first one I've missed for a little while as well. I'm quite gutted actually, but yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. And Johnny's
sorry,
go on.
No, I was just going to say Portsmouth have just very kindly let us buy a Wim Moxon. Obviously not just, but a couple of weeks ago. What a player he is. I just think if they can let him go, then they've got quality, haven't they? Yeah.
They have. They're a good side, Portsmouth. I think they just struggle to adapt to the Championship, and that happens. You know what I mean? It does happen. The fact that they've, come the other side of that, and as Graham just put there, the fact that they made Fratton Park a fortress, it's just going to really do them. And that was their first. I'm sure that was their first away win of if not of this season. They haven't won many. It's like one or two. Form, massively.
It's the home form that's going for them. And
yeah,
so just before we move on to any other game, I know there was a medical incident as well in that game, and it's not long since there was a fan passed away in a Portsmouth match. So really good news that the Oxford fan who had a cardiac arrest was revived and is doing well. So just, fair play to all the medical staff that made that happen.
Yeah, and it was quite a long delay, wasn't it? Because I know they finished like not long before the 3 o'clock started. So, but obviously football plays second to your health, and hope the Oxford fan has recovered well, and hopefully you're back watching your team very, very soon. But I think is there anything else, Jen? Have you got any more thoughts on the Championship there?
I think I've said it all.
Yeah. We'll just quickly do midweeks before we go on to the league, because I do want to mention Spenny fans' comment. 2-1-1 draws, but that one there, Luton and Plymouth, I think says it all for both sides. I think that was it. That needed the winner.
Yeah. Going there early and saying Luton are going down.
I agree. No, I agree. I know you went on last week, but I said last week Luton are the worst side I've seen all season. They were awful, and they were like a side that knew they were going down. And
again, I think it's another example of a team going up too soon.
Yeah,
definitely.
Totally agree. They were never ready for it, and it is what it is. I'll just quickly answer Spenny Van Chris's comment there. It seems like 9 or 10 teams fight for playoff places. Yeah, I agree. I think anyone from, I'm going to say QPR upwards, because I don't think Millwall and Preston have got it in them. But it's the same with, Bristol. Again, Bristol City on the other side, I didn't see coming, and they have. They've done really, really well. And I think Liam Manning's a fantastic manager. And I'm so glad for him, because he had some horrible news this season, didn't he? Because obviously his kid died, and then, really, and I really hope he's, obviously he's back, back managing and stuff. But he has done a fantastic job at Bristol City. We mentioned Sheffield before. We've got them next week going down the hills, but that's going to be a really tough place to go. There's Bury, is in Norwich. Norwich pick up results and then seem to go on. Norwich, I think, are a little bit too inconsistent. I think Bury and Watford won't make it. Watford's goal difference is awful as well. I think West Brom will fall out of it. And I think it's between Coventry, Bristol City, and Sheffield for that playoff position. I don't think anyone will do that really good run. And as I'll just quickly put there, Johnny's, but we were looking to beat Luton. You were, but
that's what you up there. You get that look.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, that's what good teams do. And I said that before. That's what Leeds did on Monday night. We for 70 minutes we made Leeds look ordinary. We had Leeds ran out of ideas. They had one more throw of the dice to bring Joe Rothwell on, and that worked. So, but we made them look completely ordinary for 70 minutes. We played so well, but they found a way. They scored 2 late goals. Like Johnny again, our goal was offside. It doesn't matter. The linesman didn't see it. You know what I mean? Leeds' first goal on Monday was a foul. It happens. It's football. But yeah, like I say, going back to it, I think we have mentioned Burnley because they drew 0-0 again, but they're still there. But I just don't see it. You know what I mean? And
9 goals, it's still ridiculous. 33 games.
Only conceded 9 goals, yeah. But it's just, the bother is for me. If you want to go up in the automatics, you've got to beat Preston away from home. You know what I mean? That's one. I know it's a derby and everything like that, but nah, I just don't see it. Simon, they're not sure I can do the playoffs again. I'm sure you'll take it now, though, buddy. I'm sure you'll take it now if we offered you it.
As well, if you actually win the league, then it's the best feeling. But second to that, and I stand by this, is winning a playoff final at Wembley. That feeling is incredible. When you lose, obviously not so great, but I can honestly say when we got beat at Wembley, I was like, yeah, it's fine. Straight away it was fine. But yeah, I think you have to just be ready for that to happen. But if you
100%.
Go up at Wembley, it's a mint feeling.
Yeah. That's obviously for a couple of years ago, it's the first time I've seen Sunderland win at Wembley in my lifetime. You know what I mean? I'm 39 next month, in 2 months. You know what I mean? But that's the best moment. Even though we've beat Chelsea at home, we beat Newcastle this time, that was still my best moment. Sport Sunderland was, with me dad, with me cousins, and my uncle and all that, celebrating us getting promoted against Wickham. Best moment I'll ever have. And hopefully we can reciprocate that by going up this year. So that'd be a close second, definitely. But I totally agree. Yeah, it's such a special feeling. But let's have to. We'll quickly go on there. I've been looking up to experience 2 playoff final wins. Sorry, and they're both against us, so that's probably the reason why. And Simon, I've seen us win and lose playoff final at Wembley. I think it all depends on if you've got Box Park or not now, because Pratt's just so good. But we'll see what happens. I still think, like I say, if we can win on Saturday and there's a loser in Leeds and Sheffield United, and I'm going to say this now, I hope it's Sheffield United, because I think we can catch Sheffield United. I don't think we can catch Leeds. But like I say, let's go on to that league, because everyone's talking about the Wembley moments there. We've seen us twice at Wembley winning. One of the best moments of my life following Gateshead. Isn't that nice?
What's Wembley? I wouldn't know that is.
Oh, man, it's never been.
Right. before everyone starts, reminiscing about Wembley, let's go through the table. So obviously Leeds top on 72 points. They've got Sheffield United, massive game on Monday night. I think, like I say, if Leeds win that, I think that's Leeds up as champions. Sheffield United in second, Burnley in third, Sunderland fourth, Blackburn, Rovers in fifth, and West Brom in sixth for now. And the bottom three is Derby County, Plymouth, Argyle, and Luton. But it is so tight down there. We mentioned before the League One one. Look at that. I mean, Stoke, Cardiff, Hull, and then the bottom three. And there's two teams out of that bottom three in your Plymouths and Derbys who have started to turn it around a little bit. Derby got a new manager bounce as well. So that's going to go down the wire as well. And it wouldn't shock me, just before we go as well, Swansea City sat on Luke Williams as well. So they get dragged into it. We don't know, do we? So I think that's been coming clear, though, hasn't it? Obviously, Luke Williams from the Notts County manager as well. That's been coming for a little while, hasn't he? He hasn't quite adapted to Swansea City.
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit of a strange appointment at the time. I've got to be quite honest. Obviously, hope that it'd do well, and he's got history with Swansea, so I think that's why it kind of made sense, and they were wanting to get him based on what he'd done. But it was a massive jump, like a huge jump. I just think it was maybe a step too far for him at that point, but is not going to be out of work long, I don't think.
No. And I think, Jen, as well, it's kind of, you look at Macaulay Longstaff, who made the jump up, playing-wise at Millwall. He hasn't quite done it, has he? It's just one of them where if it works, brilliant, but it's like them one in every so often who do make the step up, and it is hard.
Yeah, it's not easy to make the step up like that, and some players are made for it and some players aren't, and it's just the way it goes.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to get the odds up for the next Swansea City manager, but it is decided to be an arsehole, so we'll just leave that for now. All that is left before we say goodbye is to say thank you very much to everyone for joining us this week. I'm sure Shah's going to be back next week. We all hope that she is, because we do miss her. But until next week, we will see you. But Ben, thank you so much for joining us, mate. And if people want to see what you do and see how Maidstone getting on, how do we do that?
If you really want to put yourself through that pain of it, it's Ben Stones FC1 on Twitter. But I really wouldn't bother at the moment. I like my Twitter.
And Claire, what about yourself?
So I'm just going to say I will be missing next week because I'm going to Disneyland. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Claire_Jeffs. And yeah, that's it really. We've deleted Hatters Hangout because we weren't able to give it the time it deserved. But yeah, just Claire_Jeffs. Don't spend that much time on there anymore because I hate Elon Musk. But you know what? I still talk football on there.
Go on Blue Sky. It's so much better. It's so nice.
The thing that you download them, innit?
It's like Twitter with good manners, though. It's so good. It's so nice. Johnny, we all miss you, Claire, but have a great time. And yeah, we'll do all that. Obviously, taking the little Ben to Disney, it'll be, it's what memories are made of, isn't it? It's what they say. It's just magical, isn't it, Disney?
It's free for kids until they're 3. Like, that's why I'm going now.
Too old.
I spend too much money on it in the future.
And Jen, where can we get more of Jen in our lives? Because we don't get enough. We'll never get enough of Jen.
Don't more. It's Jen Hunt _, on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Blue Sky, all the good stuff. I'm here, there, everywhere, basically. I have no life.
And if by some kind of miracle you want to follow me, I'm at ant_Watterson on Twitter and Blue Sky. And if you want to follow the only Sunderland fan podcast regarding Sunderland women, it is at Howie Pod. But don't go on this week because it's National Week and I won't be posting anything on there. But the most important thing, and also, actually, I am also missing next week because I am going to see the lottery winners in Leeds. So,
Lottery winners?
Yeah, that's what they call the band's called the Lottery Winners. Yeah.
Oh, Lottery Winners. I thought you said Lucky Winners.
No, the Lottery Winners. Yeah, they're a band that I've recommended to Jane and Ben, actually. So
I love them.
Hope you listen to that recommendation. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm going to see them, and I'm meeting them as well, so I can't wait.
Wow.
So yes, so and all that leaves me is to put that wonderful, wonderful photo of them lovely faces on there. And I've always thought that, doesn't it look like Ben and Rosie have played a really, really weird prank on somebody? They're not evilly delighted. Bless. But if you need to catch all of us, I mean, who's that lad in the middle at the back? Is he called Kenny? Kieran?
I'm going to need to take it out at this point.
And this is the one to the right of him.
Oh, yeah.
Dan never turns up anymore.
It's his name, because we don't talk nil-nils, that's right. We don't talk nil-nils on this podcast. And he's having all. But if you do want to catch us, we are Absolute Premier League is on a Tuesday night. Absolute Women's Football, which I had the pleasure of being on last night. That's on a Wednesday. And the Absolute Lower League, where, as has been proven tonight, anything can and anything probably does happen. And we are on Twitter at Absolute Ball Pod. We're on YouTube at the Absolute Football Podcast. Same with Twitch, whatever that is. Is that TikTok? Absolute Football Pod. You can tell I'm not on TikTok. Instagram is Absolute Football Podcast with _, on Blue Sky at Absolute Football, and on Facebook as the Absolute Football Podcast. And that just leaves me to say thank you so much to everyone in the chat. Thanks for the nice messages about me hosting. I'm sure you're going to have Shah back next week, but thank you very much. And all the nice ones about playing and enjoying Disneyland. We'll see you all next week. Good luck to everyone this weekend, apart from Hull. You take care. Bye for now.